Okay. Um, there has been no update or anything. I just thought that I would just come and play this game again. Yeah, so I remember the issue with this map, wasn't it?
All units.
Because you are where they come from. Yep.
Enemy engagement.
Yeah, I was playing quite a hyped mod, Dark Souls 3 Archthrones. Sorry, we don't really need that.
Complete. Turret complete.
Go like this. Maybe not the best, but fuck it. Yeah, Archthrones. Man, I want to like it. I really want to enjoy the mod, but Jesus Christ. There are so many enemies where it's just like, oh, you're playing Dark Souls? Haha, that means that you want to
Supply pad.
not have fun. You know what I mean? It's
Turret
like,
complete.
there's a difference between being difficult and being unfun. And for me, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's just over that line where it's like, sure, if I really wanted to, could spend the next few hours mashing my head against the same boss over and over again until I finally learn its pans. But I have absolutely no desire to do that at all. It's, you know, there's so many just like, oh, here's like a super long combo that we
Supply pad.
took from a Sekiro moveset without implementing Sekiro combat, which is just not really very fun. I'm gonna go and save my guy. I say I'm gonna go save him. He's probably got that completely. He might lose the leader temple as a thing. We might as well help him. That's what we train these guys for. But yeah, so many of the enemies and bosses, it's just like this super long combo, and they never, like in Dark Souls, you don't really notice it, but when you have, like, most enemies give you a bit of time that's normally just enough to either make distance or to like heal.
Fortress upgrade complete.
This mod just doesn't. You don't get that time at all. This is an absolutely fucking insane play by the AI, and will get it killed. And I'm not going to bail it out, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to start training a couple of those guys because Flood Swarms will start appearing quite soon. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, the mod looks really cool, and
Reactor complete.
aside from one of the 5 areas, you know, 4 of the areas are, you know, they don't run as smooth as the base game on its own, but they, you know, they run at an acceptable FPS, whereas one of them, you know, is very noticeably like sub 20, or at least spikes to sub 20. But it looks really cool. You know, there's a load of really cool stuff, and I want to like it, but you know,
Supply pad upgrade.
it's just made by someone that, you know what I mean? It's like that type of person where, oh, it's Dark Souls, so it must be hard. And it's like that. No. Dark Souls is challenging.
Local units.
It's not unfair, is the difference. Admittedly, it is in a 1.0, and I don't think it's even in a 1.0. I think it's in a pre-1.0. I think the demo is 1.0. So it's essentially in a beta stage at the moment. Which... Why are you... What are you doing? Thank... Yeah, no fucking shit. Attacked unsuccessfully. What a singular brute unit. Yeah, that's gonna do so much. But yeah, it's in a 1.0. It's in a beta stage. It is a demo, and I do watch people that sort of make FromSoft content, whatever you want to call it, whatever the big retarded umbrella is, like Souls Ring, Born Die Twice, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Reactor complete. New blood. Research.
And even they are finding it to be difficult, which, you know, if someone who plays your games, if someone who plays those types of games as a job is finding it difficult, then I feel valid in also finding it difficult. It was admittedly really cool to see like some of the stuff that they've done with it is genuinely really cool and quite impressive.
All units.
Waiting for orders. Give us an order. Ready to burn. Standing by.
I just, you know,
Bring in the heat.
wish I could actually see things properly without having to
Gunner. Research.
man, I'm sure that infantry is meant to have a bonus against air units. Aren't flood swarms meant to be like super weak to air units? I'm gonna get this and just go for medic. Just full upgrade marines and full upgrade flamethrowers. We are playing as Halsey, aren't we? Yeah. We could also... Oh wow, that is terrible.
Reactor improved.
That is just not very good at all. I'm used to,
Flashbang. Research.
like, these ones. The other one, there was one where it's like, oh, all of your ODST units, which was our anti-infantry and our main infantry, all of those got bonuses to health and damage.
Give us an order.
And then the other one was like vehicle armor increased, and I don't know what Cutter's one was. But this one just seems really shit in comparison.
Grenadier. Research. Local units.
Like, what? Okay, I get that we'll actually do a fair difference. The main benefit of air units is that you don't have to worry about... You know, let's say this was happening while we're on the other side of the map. If we were attacking this base, then it would take us quite a long time to walk back. So air units are nice for that, but at the same time...
All units. Napalm
Oh,
adhered.
yeah.
Research.
I was going to say, why are you attacking with those hunters can't attack air units? I'm not going to flare your supply pad because you do actually have a haul. If you did the common brute leader thing of just going with brutes, then I would consider flaring and asking for some. But he does Like this time he does actually have the ability to spend supplies. He is also in Tech 3 already, somehow.
Oxide tank research.
Sometimes I wonder if the AI gets a bonus to supplies, because so many times I look at, I really should be training. Yeah, I really should. I'm gonna queue some guys up. Yeah, when I look at like the end screen, and it's like, oh,
All units.
you know, you came first and you focused on supplies because I always play defensively.
Machine gun research.
And there I got twice as many supplies as you. It's like, you know, did it really? I do kind of want to cryo bomb this, but the thing is, without the upgraded cryo bomb, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the base cryo bomb can kill air units. Obviously, the upgraded one can, but I don't know if it can at a base level.
Units.
Our ally reports that he is attacking the enemy here.
Yes, please do. You have, what, like 10 brute units that you're just sitting around with. I'm kind of glad that these guys seem to not inherit our upgrades. Or did I not actually? Yeah, I did.
All units.
Okay. Aren't you meant to turn blue? Don't these guys turn blue when you get that final upgrade? Or is that a mod?
All units.
Please go and attack this with the AI. It's going to be a sub 15 minute, but it's still going to be quite high. You know, normally I want to get this base as quickly as possible. Thankfully, we are going to face the wave here. Yeah, you do turn blue. I thought the little
Neural implant research.
oh god, what's it called? There's a name for it.
Base under attack.
You should be fine. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know how you have like
Units.
flamethrowers, and they've got like the tank on the back, and this is just like the tank on the back is the deodorant can, and this little flame here is the lighter. I just thought it turned purple. Oh, sorry, blue. When you finally got that third upgrade. Apparently not. It might be a mod. I might be misremembering all the units. Cryo. Forget what the name is. But you know what I mean, the cryo flamethrower. I still don't understand why the AI does this. I think once again, it's just the fact that these are not like enemy units. Technically, they're not enemy AI. What the fuck?
Turret complete. All units.
Okay, Covenant moment, I guess. Yeah, I think because they're technically rebel units, I think is how this mod is coded.
All units.
It kind of causes some. Yeah, can you guys move, please? Yeah, I think it causes some conflicts with the AI. Just gets a bit confused sometimes.
All units.
I think they're gonna come from here at least. They might come from. No, I think they're gonna come from, like, just here. That makes the most sense. I'm fairly sure that we've played this map on this game mode before, and they do indeed, yeah, come from the top just like that.
Base under attack.
Yeah, the base wouldn't be under attack if you guys actually moved and didn't get caught on the AI. And what causes the AI to do that?
Fortress upgrade complete.
Like, okay, yeah, the AI is kind of it's a bit confused, I think, because
Turret complete.
sorry, do it that way.
Supply pad complete.
I think that it already knows that like these two bases are sort of map artifacts, if that makes sense. These two bases don't
Supply
exist.
pad upgraded.
They don't spawn in. They spawn in with 0 health. And I think that the AI knows that. And that's because we've seen in these videos, they never try and attack these bases. Right, we're playing with a brute chieftain AI. This guy, like, the first thing it does is rush these enemy bases with its chieftain and just spam teleport brutes over.
Air pad complete.
That's what the AI does. So what do we have? Yeah, we do have these guys. I'm going to upgrade that. I can't remember if we really get anything after this. I think we
Supply
do.
pad upgraded.
Maybe. I can't remember which one. I don't think it was that one.
Vehicle depot.
But there are like
complete.
different versions of these. I think it might be as Cutter or as Master Chief. But yeah, I think because
Joint researched.
the enemy, the AI doesn't really have a base, and there isn't really an enemy to attack, because like AI player 2 and 3, they're not really in the game at all. They kind of just exist as like a spectator almost.
Spartan laser research. Field armory complete.
And so I think that because it doesn't really know like where to move things to, it just kind of leaves them here. Although when I think about that, does it? I'm just thinking about what I want to boost. I'm probably going to boost
Complete.
heavy air. I would assume it doesn't say Uber unit, so I assume that I can put a Spartan in there. But yeah, because even if it knows that a base is here, because it's a rebel base, or like a nameless enemy,
Research.
I think it just doesn't really understand that it's meant to attack them.
Turret upgraded.
Yeah, because if in the like just regular skirmish games, if you uncover an enemy base, like an enemy rebel base, your friendly AI will only go for it if it's advantageous for it to hold that position.
Pad upgraded.
I can't really show it on this map, but like on is it Memorial Basin? on the one that I like, because it actually has fucking cover and map items in there, which I think is Memorial Basin. The one with the big hill, and the only bases that you can capture are like behind your own base.
Turret upgraded.
If you go and uncover the
Canister shell research.
the like rebel bases that are behind the enemy's base, your friendly AI doesn't go and capture them. It only does that, or at least, you know, it sometimes does that, but Halo moment.
Let's go.
It not. Oh fuck. I guess we're going Hawks then. Yeah, normally the AI doesn't go and attack rebel bases.
Our ally has extra supplies. We should flare one of their supply pads if we would like them to.
Obviously, it will sometimes. you know, sometimes it will just go and run over to the enemy's base, and it will clear that. Like the one that the enemy is meant to clear, it will clear that for them. Stuff like that, and just generally be fucking idiotic. But in general,
Send me in.
and so I think it's kind of what's happening here is why the AI is just sitting around, because it doesn't understand that there are targets on the map. Admittedly, I am like not speaking from a position of
Enemy engagement. All units.
Hostile targeted.
expertise. I don't know what to call it. You know, I'm speaking just as I have played this game a lot and with different mods and stuff, and that's about it. I'm not speaking from like an expert on this game or someone that's like, you know, has coded mods or looked at the code behind it at all. You know, I know some of the inner workings, but far from,
Reserves researched.
you know, far from being able to make something like this myself, let's put it that way.
Target acquired.
That really doesn't do much damage.
All units.
RPG out.
All units.
I don't like this. Actually, no, don't these turrets get a bonus against their units? I will pan away just to make sure that everything's going.
Chain amplified.
Give me some more of those. Gremlins are now maxed out for some reason.
Wingman research.
Dual launchers is
All
possibly one of the most important upgrades in the entire game. There are very, very few upgrades in this game that allow you to just straight up, you now deal twice the damage. That's not something that is very common. You know, there's stuff like Grizzlies. That's an Uber unit. That's like the exception, right? Wolverines, they just get, you know, just
dual launchers.
here's a shitload of extra damage for basically nothing.
Orders? Yes, sir.
All units.
These guys are handling the wave perfectly. These guys are still just chilling. You know, I would prefer if they did something. At the same time, like, let's be realistic, this sort of like cluster of infantry and brutes, if he put them here, he could use this scarab and take out these bases. Once again, I am fairly sure that this guy is getting the difficulty bonus applied to him.
Reinforcements researched.
I could be wrong. Once again, I don't really pay attention to the AI that much.
All units. Hawk research.
Marines, good to go.
We do have to take this pretty soon.
Reporting for duty.
I don't think that we could take the wave in a minute. Yeah, we should be able to take it in a minute, but I think by doing this,
Where to?
I'm going to take the Marines and I'm going to put them there.
Ready to roll. Marines on the ground, sir.
I'm also going to bring all of the air units here. This should be where the wave comes from.
Where to?
Piercing shot research.
I am going to put these guys
Adrenaline research.
kind of over here just in case they start going for this base.
Enemy engagement.
But yeah, they should be able to melt through this little incursion.
Enemy engagement.
Should be fine. These guys also should be fine. They shouldn't go for our main base because this one is way closer.
Station upgrade complete.
Obviously, turret's there first. And then we want this one. These guys should be able to, yeah. Because those Thrasher forms fairly sure count as infantry.
Waiting for orders. Good to go.
And with these guys being anti-infantry, no issues there.
All units.
This is going to be risky.
Turret complete.
But once again, we are using air units, and they have a, you know, that massive, not really mobility bonus, but just like inherent higher mobility than other stuff. We should also probably just get this.
All units.
We should be alright to take the wave up here.
Turret.
We don't really need the base. Sure, it would be nice. I will grab the upgrade, get the Hawk to come over here. Is it a noticeable increase? It doesn't say anymore.
All units.
I would say it's probably not insignificant, but I just don't know how. I didn't read the thing. I think it was 30%. Because that sounds like a balanced number that would be chosen, but I have no idea. But like it's movement speed.
Supply pad upgrade.
Sorry, what is that blue thing on the map? Is it?
Turret complete.
I know that this is blue, but does it really show up on the map? I guess that is the only random thing aside from here, which we can't see anyway because we haven't scouted that area.
Complete.
Some more of these guys. Now we get into the issue. We need this base because at the moment the wave is going to sort of come like here.
Units.
Let's go.
And I don't really like that.
Supply pad complete.
I want to keep the base, the wave, I want to keep it coming in like a consistent, just like one place. I don't really want to be splitting everything up. I am also aware that I was talking about, I should probably repair everything too. Yeah.
Supply pad upgraded.
I know that I was talking about how impactful
Firebase ready.
the dual launcher was, and then proceed to
Complete.
Regenerate healing target.
not build any Wolverines at all. And I think that's just kind of because I haven't noticed us having an issue with air units.
Standing by. Gyros engaged.
We do have 15 Marines.
All units.
Where to? Hitching a ride. Send me
I
in.
suppose I probably should use the spawns. I don't think that they would do much as just like base units. Sorry,
Hopping up.
in there, please, not in the Warthog. I don't think they'd do much as base units, just because they're, you know,
You point. I'll burn.
it's using a spawn laser against the flood. Yeah, does that work? I don't even know if that's like, there are some things in game, like in the main series, like spawn lasers are pretty rare in the main games, and so I don't even know if you get to use one against the flood. And if it is, it would be against like the Thrasher forms and shit like that. which are probably one of the bigger issues that we face, but at the same time, I don't need extra supplies, I need extra offensive potential, if you would, Mr. AI. But once again, I don't want to attempt to go and attack something, because if he does that, then he's gonna fuck himself over. Like, if I tell him to attack here, and then they come from, like, this spot here, that's a Floodwalker. Which is not good. Please dismantle this real quickly for us. You can have a Warthog, that is really not an issue for me. The issue is the big beam that I don't want to face. But yeah, as I say, we're not really facing any. Right. You see what I mean? You see what I mean about, like, oh, if I tell it to go and attack something, it's going to leave itself completely undefended. I didn't even realize that it was attacking anything, and you're telling me you've got extra supplies and you've got open fucking turret spots, my guy.
All units.
Like, there is no reason to not build in them. That's the thing.
All units.
Like, there are some times where, like, these bases, you know, have an upgrade, but I'm not gonna, like, bother really building in them. But, like, your main base,
Fire base ready.
I'm only not bothered building in them because
Upgrade complete.
I know for a fact that like, the wave is gonna spawn from here, it's gonna come and run up here. There's not gonna be a secret expanded base here that's gonna come straight through and attack this one, you know what I mean? This game mode is just inherently a lot more predictable,
All units.
Flying there now.
which I don't think is a bad thing. It's just a lot more predictable than, like, a random skirmish battle. Especially considering the dumb shit that Jesus Christ. Especially considering the dumb shit that the AI does sometimes.
Enemy
I like that
engaged.
he's actually put his
Firing target.
you know, his units in a place where they could actually defend the base for once. Can you come and scout this location for me? I would actually like to lock in that base. And then just... Sorry, hold on. Oh. That's alright. Sorry, I had like a whirring noise. You know, like one of those noises where you think, like, is that my computer fan? Is that my computer making dodgy noises? Like one of them noises, but no, it's someone outside.
Hostile targeted.
It's almost like it's fucking spring or something. I want to say it don't feel like it, but it kind of does. You know, in terms of temperature, feels warm enough to be spring. It just, like, where the fuck did winter go? You know what I mean?
Allied scouts have arrived.
Yeah, I don't want scouts. I want you to send the fucking scarab. This also isn't a scouting party. Scouting means, like, a ghost or a warthog, not everything that you fucking own. We don't have to worry about the wave. He is right here. Even if he doesn't want to use his scarab. Not that it matters. Once again, I think that this guy is getting a bonus from the difficulty level. Or at least he definitely isn't getting any negatives. I don't think we do either.
I'll get it.
Fire base ready.
I'm sure we've gone over this many times. I'm sure I've tested it, but I always end up fucking forgetting. What are you doing? I didn't tell you to fucking scout over here.
All units.
Yeah, this is probably going to be dead before he can even get everything else over.
Our ally reports that he is attacking the enemy here.
Yeah, there's no enemy there anymore. Sorry. There are still a few enemies. I think they're still spawning in.
Your team is victorious.
There was one over here. Yeah, just a random brute that I think died down here. Right. Let's just look for a second. He has 4 supply pads. I have 4. 8. Call it 10. So I have 2.5 times the supply pads as he does. So realistically, we should be pretty fucking even on supplies. So how does he have much more than me? Once again, I know a fair bit about this game. I know that there is a supply per second cap. I'm just not sure what it is. And I don't think that we were that behind. Considering that he went for a temple first. Like, he was stuck on 0 income as we were building ours up. I think, you know, maybe the AI gets a bonus to supplies, maybe. Obviously, we did we do much better? Not really. I would say that these numbers are pretty even. What the fuck did we lose? Marines, mostly. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. He lost ODST/Marines. Something tells me he didn't lose ODST Marines. I also don't think he killed many ODST Marines. Once again, I think that's a I think ODST Marine is the like the John Smith of Halo Wars. I think that is just like the default when, you know, I would assume that this is just modder didn't think that anyone cares about this screen, because fucking no one does. Obviously we came first. We were twice as good as him. I don't care if that's not twice. Am I just shit at maths? Yeah, no, that was just a terrible estimate. We're twice as good as him, because we actually did things. And to be quite frank, he doesn't deserve like those scores, considering like what the fuck did he do? Just sat at his base. I guess because part of it is the military side, he is getting like all of these kills, and so I think that's what's bumping his numbers up. Anyway, I don't know. You see, the thing is, it's like Archphones is genuinely a really impressive mod. If you haven't tried it, you know, and you care about Dark Souls 3, it is worth playing, even if the first hour or so is like genuinely pretty shit. They changed the vigor, whatever it is, whatever the health stat is, they changed the scaling on it. So you probably have half as much health, and everything deals like twice as much damage. So it is very easy to get one shot until you pump that up to about 20, which, once again, Dark Souls is difficult. It is challenging. It is not unfair or bullshit. there are many things in this mod that I would consider not fun, not challenging, not not. They are difficult, but because they are bullshit and unfun. The other thing I've been playing recently is from 2006, Empire at War, the second most played Star Wars game at any one time, behind the Old Republic MMO. It has more players on Steam than like Fallen Order, whatever that series is, the like Star Wars Soulsborne, whatever you want to call it, Souls-like, sorry. Though those games, it's got more players than that apparently. I'm currently playing I think it's Empire at War. No, I am playing Empire at War. Is it Universe at War then? It's something like that. It's some like big thing, and I'm currently sandwiched between two factions, one of which has a sort of Star Destroyer unit that has way too much health and way too much potential damage output for the fact that he is sending like 30 of them at a time. It's a bit annoying to constantly have to face against those things. The other thing that he is sending at me are... Sorry, the other faction I'm sandwiched in between is... they have like these spawner units, essentially like I think it's just described as a hangar with an engine. Yeah, being able to spawn endless units is kind of overpowered when you are insanely fast, to the point where my bombers cannot catch them if they just try and run away. When you're that fast and can spawn so many units, it kind of becomes bullshit. It would be fair if it was just like, part of a balanced army. It would be fair to have like these things spawning fighters. However, the AI is just sending like 15 of them at a time, and it's like I've essentially had to entirely change what I'm doing. Instead of training like frigates and capital ships and shit like that, I am training the one unit. Like the mod removes all of like tooltips and stuff like that. It no longer says like, oh, did you know that bombers are good against capital ships? Did you know that? It removes all of those, but it still gives like lore descriptions. And the lore description for one of them is very effective against a swarm of TIE fighters, which is more or less what these spawner units do. So I've just been spamming those as well as bombers, and sending between 50 and 100 of them at a time against the AI, and it's not super fun. It's just like, oh yeah, okay, bomber swarm, can you go and swarm that one craft please, and then do it to the next one. And as well, that game, it was made in 2006 and maybe doesn't run perfectly on modern hardware. It could also be that the mods are causing the issues. I don't think I've exited the game manually for a fair few days. I normally just keep playing until it crashes. And normally it crashes often enough where I'm not like staying up super late playing it, because it will just decide, hey, you've had your fun today now, fuck off, go back to sleep. I don't know. I'm just kind of bored. that makes sense. Like, you look at your Steam library. There was that Steam sale on. I think it's still going. And I just kind of looked at everything, and it's like, okay, let's see what's on my wish list, because practically everything was on sale. I'm looking at my wish list, and it's like, oh, that one game that, kind of interesting, Lies of P, Twink Souls, that's kind of interesting. Minimum graphic card requirement is like 2 generations ahead of mine, and mine is the worst of its generation. Not the worst, but like the worst performance. I mean, it's like, it's a budget card. It's not really the worst. It just kind of like the lowest performance. Low performance doesn't mean bad. Once again, I've been looking at getting a 4060, because I don't care about low performance. To be perfectly honest, would rather play games on low. I don't care about graphics. I'm playing a game from fucking 2006. I would rather play everything on low at 60 FPS and have the graphics card undervolted by 50%. I would rather just have it run at as low as possible. Which is why I've been looking at 4060, but apparently everyone hates it, and I still don't understand why. But then I look at everything else on my wish list, and it's like, why did I put this on here? There's some things where it's like, I'd play it if I didn't have to buy it. Even on sale, it's like, is this worth 20 quid? You know what I mean? What else could I do with 20 quid? I sent my friend, pen pal friend. She was like interested in like English stuff, and it's like a lot of English culture. It's like, what the fuck do I send? I'm not going to send someone in Asia, oh, here's a bag of tea, by the way. It's like, yeah, am I going to send her a fucking British-made katana as well? It's like I'm saying, oh yeah, here's English culture, and it's just like, yeah, because we kind of took it from you. That's why it's English. Once again, the fucking point of culture is to disperse and to spread. That's the point of culture, and we would be living in a rather boring world if cultures didn't spread and interact, contrary to Twitter belief. But yeah, I sent her a box of chocolates and stuff, and it's like, I mean, I could buy like several kilos of chocolate for 20 quid. I would feel like absolute shit after eating all that. But at the same time, looking at my wish list for Steam, it's like, I think I'd feel like shit if I'd bought any of these games as well, so I might as well just fucking gorge myself. And so it's like, well, what am I gonna do? I was gonna play Far Cry 2, and then I realized that, oh yeah, the physics are fucked. Ever since I got my new computer a couple years ago, because like my old computer had a 2012 CPU, which was advanced for Far Cry 2, but now my new computer has like I don't think it's like top of the line anymore. It's a R950. It's either 58 or 5900X. It's like top of the line CPU from like a year or two ago. And so Far Cry 2 doesn't know how to handle it. The game is running too fast and it keeps bugging out. And it's like, you've got to go and do a load of stuff to fix it, and it's like, if I knew, like, if I downloaded a mod to skip the mortar mission. Actually, no. If I just downloaded a mod to remove mortars from the game, I'd consider putting in that time, because it is a good game with its downfalls. The downfalls being mortars. I know that people laugh, haha, malaria and the map shit. There is, aside from kind of being dated, kind of not having a good story, but like in terms of actual gameplay, the only bad thing about that game is the fucking mortars. It's like essentially being able to be one shot by something you cannot see is realistic. That there could be like sniper teams that, if the snipers were good in the game and, just a 50 cal round through your head, yeah, you're probably not going to live that. But they are sort of predictable in where they are. You can see them quite easily, and it doesn't feel annoying. The mortar mission and facing a mortar team in general, it's just like, yeah, no, I'll come back later. And it's just like, by fixing the game, I kind of feel like I would be obligating myself to play through it again. And that means dealing with that annoyance again. It's the same thing with Factorio. My Factorio mod list is bugged because when I got my new computer, I lost all the bug fixes I did to it myself. But by fixing those issues, it's like, well, if I fix them, I'm signing myself on to play this game. I'm signing up to play Factorio. Factorio is like 1,000+ hours with Pyrodons, whatever it's called. With the mods that I'm playing with, you are talking about 1,000 hours, which is quite a long time. And it's like, yeah, I would enjoy the 1,000 hours, but do I want that commitment? It's just like not particularly. Especially as I say, it's getting into be spring. There's shit to do. But at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like I'm missing something, if that makes sense. Even just like talking to people. I talk to the same people that I always have done. Like my friend group is really static. Like genuinely, the last person that I like really started talking to, that was like over a year ago at this point. But before then, like other than that one last person, it's like 4 years that it's just been like the same people, and yet something feels different. I mean, I feel like there is someone, like I feel like I should be talking to someone, but I'm just not, if that makes sense. I don't know how to phrase it. It's like, I open Discord and I'm like, okay, there's the same like 10 people that I always talk to. Isn't there an 11th somewhere here? And it's like, no, there isn't. There is no 11th person. But it feels like there is. It's really hard to describe that feeling of just like, I feel like there should be someone else here, but there isn't. And it's, I don't know why. It's kind of the same thing with like looking at games. It's like, I feel like there's something that should be here that isn't. I'm like thinking in my brain, there's like, oh, there's this one game that I really like that I should go and replay that doesn't exist. It's really hard to explain that feeling of just like, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, it's kind of like Mandela effect, but the opposite. Instead of like believing something has happened, oh no, I guess it kind of is like a Mandela effect almost, but isn't a Mandela effect where it just happens to one person just called being fucking psychotic? I don't know. It just, I don't know, I feel strange recently. It's kind of hard to explain, but sure this game only lasted half an hour, and here we are an hour in.